Hare Krishna. We continue to read from Sri Caitanya Caritamrita. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So we are starting chapter 5 today. We finished the chapter 4 in which we understood, or we were trying to understand the feelings of Krishna. That why did he want internal reasons? Why did Krishna want to come as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? He wanted to taste the glory of Srimati Radharani's love. He wanted to feel the happiness she feels in him, and he wanted to feel the qualities that she appreciates in him. So now we are in chapter 5, the glories of Lord Nityananda Balaram. This chapter is chiefly devoted to describing the essential nature and glories of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Lord Sri Krishna is the absolute personality of Godhead, and his first expansion in a form for pastimes is Sri Balaram. So Krishna, he's the original Lord, original, absolute personality of Godhead. Everything, everyone is coming from him. So Sri Krishna is there. Then what happens? He expands as Lord Balaram for the sake of pastimes. The Lord also, although he's Atmaram, although he's happy, we may be happy, but we are more happier when we have someone to share the happiness with. I don't know if you all have experienced, okay, we'll be very nice and peaceful, happy in our own, in our own space. But then we meet someone, a very good friend, and then we are talking and we are laughing. And so that happiness increases when we are in relation with someone that we love. So Krishna expands, and his first expansion is Sri Balaram. Beyond the limitation of this material world is the spiritual sky, Paravyoma, which has many spiritual planets, the supreme of which is called Krishna Lok. So here we are in this material world, material sky, cosmic manifestation. What is beyond it? We have always tried to understand, what's beyond this material nature. It depends. Some of us inquire only, let me see what is beyond this earth. Let me send different spaceships. Let me see what's beyond this earth. How many planets are there? What's on different planets? And then some of us understand, oh, this universe is just one of the millions of universes. And in each universe, there are so many planets. But what is beyond all these universes? What's beyond? It's the spiritual world. The spiritual world, the Paravyoma. And what is there? There are many spiritual planets. And the highest of the planet, the most supreme. So the spiritual world is perfect. It's perfect, but still there is always levels in perfection. So the highest, the most supreme is Krishna Lok. Krishna Lok, the abode of Krishna, has 3 divisions, which are known as Dwarka, Mathura, and Gokul. Krishna Lok. In this, now we are talking about, this is the spiritual world, not this earthly. So in this Krishna Lok, what is there? 3 parts. There's Dwarka, then there is Mathura, and there is Gokul. In that abode, the personality of Godhead expands himself in 4 plenary portions: Krishna, Balaram, Pradyumna, the transcendental Cupid, and Anirudh. They are known as the original quadruple forms. So Krishna, he expands as Shri Balaram. And then Shri Balaram, he expands as the Chaturvyuha, quadruple forms. They are Vasudev, means Krishna or Vasudev, Balaram, Sankarsana, Pradyumna, and Anirudh. Who is Pradyumna? He's the transcendental Cupid. The Cupid in this material world is an expansion. The There is transcendental Cupid, and that is Pradyumna. In Krishna Lok is a transcendental place known as Shvetadvip or Vrindavan. Below Krishna Lok, in the spiritual sky, are the Vaikuntha planets. On each Vaikuntha planet, a four-handed Narayan expanded from the first quadruple manifestation is present. So now we are given a very detailed information of the spiritual world. And then who is ruling in the spiritual world? You know, like here we have our countries and there is a president of each country. Originally, this earth was ruled by one emperor, like Maharaj Parikshit or Maharaj Yudhishthir, Bharat Maharaj. That's the reason the whole earth was called Bharatvarsh. The whole earth would be ruled by one person. So who is the one who's ruling these spiritual planets? Who is there? So there are all these Vaikuntha planets. The spiritual world, we say, has many planets. They're called Vaikuntha planets and is being ruled by a four-handed Narayan form. Where does this four-handed Narayan come from? From the first Chaturvyuha, from the first quadruple manifestation. Okay. And so in Krishna Lok, there is Shvetadvip or Vrindavan. So that's the highest. Then below is all the other Vaikuntha planets. The personality of Godhead, known as Sri Balaram in Krishna Lok, is the original Sankarsana, attracting deity. And from this Sankarsana expands another Sankarsana called Maha Sankarsana, who resides in one of the Vaikuntha planets. So Krishna is also known as the personality of Godhead. The original personality of Godhead is Sri Krishna. But Sri Balaram is also called personality of Godhead. There is no difference between Krishna and Balaram. The only difference is that one is blackish, one is blackish, and another is whitish. Balaram is also God. He's God himself. But what is his mood? His mood is to serve Krishna. What is Krishna's mood? Krishna's mood is to enjoy. And so Balaram's mood is to serve. Now the Sankarsana, where does Sankarsana come from? That is, Sankarsana is Sri Balaram. Sri Balaram. And then from this original Sankarsana, there is another Sankarsana called Maha Sankarsana, who is in one of the Vaikuntha planets. By his internal potency, Maha Sankarsana maintains the transcendental existence of all the planets in the spiritual sky, where all the living beings are eternally liberated souls. So who is maintaining this whole spiritual sky is this Maha Sankarsana. He has gotten the charge of maintaining all the planets in the spiritual sky. And all the living beings are there. And those living beings are liberated souls. They are not conditioned. Now we just heard in Bhagavatam 5 types of conditioning of ignorance. So, but in the spiritual world, these conditionings are not there. The soul is in its pure form. That's why it's called liberated. The influence of the material energy is conspicuous there by its absence. On those planets, the second quadruple manifestation is present. So the material energy, the goodness, passion, ignorance, that is only here in this material world. It's not there in the spiritual world. We don't see anybody just getting so angry or arrogant or prideful or conceited. You know, in the spiritual world, all that is not there. That's why it's all peaceful. No one over there is under these modes of nature. That's only here in the material world. Outside of the Vaikuntha planets is the impersonal manifestation of Sri Krishna, which is known as Brahmalok. So now, the spiritual sky, what is the spiritual sky called? Brahmalok. We have the material sky, right? So spiritual sky is also there, on which all the planets are there. The spiritual planets, they are situated in the spiritual sky. And that spiritual sky is called Brahmalok, is the impersonal manifestation of Sri Krishna. It's Sri Krishna, but it's his impersonal form. It's his form of light. Krishna has a form which with 2 hands and eyes and legs and hands, and he also has a form of light. So that is what this Brahma Jyoti is. On the other side of Brahmalok is the spiritual Karana Samudra or causal ocean. So on the other side, so we were hearing of the spiritual world. Now we are looking at the causal ocean. So this is like at the border kind of. Causal ocean is still spiritual because Mahavishnu lies down on it. It's called, it is spiritual. It's written here, spiritual Karana Samudra or causal ocean. The material energy exists on the other side of the causal ocean, which without touching it. So causal ocean is there. So there is, we see the Brahmalok is there, the Brahma Jyoti. Brahma Jyoti is there. Then there is the Karana ocean, the causal ocean. That's also spiritual. And then comes the material world. The material world does not touch, the material energy does not touch the causal ocean. So we can say that causal ocean is there. One side of it is the spiritual world, and the other side of it is the material world. The material energy exists on the other side of the causal ocean without touching it. In the causal ocean is Mahavishnu, the original Purusha expansion from Sankarsana. So now we say Mahavishnu created this material world. Karana Dakshai Vishnu. He's called Karana Dakshai Vishnu. Vishnu who's lying on the Karana ocean. Mahavishnu he's called. Where does he come from? You know, everything has a cause. It's only Krishna does not have a cause. The original form of Krishna doesn't have a cause. Now we see, oh, Mahavishnu also has a cause. Where is he coming from? He's an expansion of Sankarsana. Mahavishnu places his glance over the material energy, and by reflection of his transcendental body, he amalgamates himself within the material elements. So Mahavishnu, what does he do? He simply glances. He glances at the material energy, and by his glance, all the material elements are put inside this material energy. The material energy gets agitated, the modes get interacted, we, the living entities, are put here inside this material world. All that is done by the glance of Mahavishnu. And then what does it mean? He amalgamates himself within the material elements. That is the Shirodakshai Vishnu, who is entering into each and every atom of this material energy. Shirodakshai Vishnu is there. We say, oh, earth, but earth is made up of atoms, right? We pick up a clay, a lump of soil, that's earth. There's so many atoms there, so many atoms. And inside each and every atom is Shirodakshai Vishnu, who is an expansion of Mahavishnu. So this is still a bit of the, I'm not sure if you want to finish it. We still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs here. You want to continue it tomorrow, or you want to finish it today? This introduction. Well, then we'll stop here because I'm not sure if the time permits it. So, Shri Caitanya Caritamrita ki jai, Shilpa Shyam ki jai, Gaur Premanande Hari Bol.
Hari Hari Bol.
Krishna.